Hi everyone, welcome. Welcome back to another Onkruid video. Welcome back to another one of these grand old unedited Diablo 3 videos. Whenever I say the word unedited, my speech systems and all the muscles and organelles and whatever you want to call it, I use for speech and speaking immediately want to follow that up with Souls and Survivors. Because after like 83 episodes, it becomes kind of muscle memory. Still need to get used a little bit to my new approach to this YouTube thing, where most of my gaming content will probably be unedited from now on. Even some League of Legends content in there. Video I recorded yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, not sure, but it was a lot of fun, definitely. Was it a lot of fun? I don't necessarily know. I remember that my Cartus, my AD carry, the person I was sharing my lane with and therefore had to rely on a lot to actually do something and possibly win the game later on in the game, was a bit sus, a bit weird, a bit lackluster in some ways, shapes and forms. Multiple, actually. I think there is some clear video proof of that thing happening, that me being disappointed with a valid reason in his skills, in his capacities of being a capable League of Legends player. Just not... I wasn't playing with Faker, I can tell you that much. I was not playing with Faker, with Meteos, with Sneaky, with Reckless, with Doublelift, with Bjergsen, no. Maybe with like the final sub, the last guy on the bench of like Lemon Dogs back in their prime. Maybe that was the guy in my game. I know his name was Meta Abuser 69, which I got handed to him. Not the worst name in existence. That's at least something he did right, but that's, I think, one of the only things. Maybe the other things he did right was buy his account though, which would be extremely sad if he would buy an account with an elo in gold. That's exactly where I am in League. And that's where I think my nuance also comes in and shines through, is that I do realize that I am not a great League player myself, of course. I make a lot of mistakes, I make a lot of misplays, that's just part of the journey. But what that guy did sometimes in that game or during that game, that was just like an eyesore. That's why I named the video, I termed it, I coined it something also like cleanse my eyes, Father, for I have seen sins. Something like that at least. We're moving over to the next gem. We're just randomly upgrading gems at this point. It said that, oh, that would be a good system now, wouldn't it? It would benefit the people like me that don't necessarily enjoy pushing all that much. Being back on the screen makes me realize that I didn't finish my train of thought. This is after the video, but I'm gonna quickly splice it in. That there would be a system where you could like invest into gems that you can't upgrade with this difficulty right now, that would be more beneficial towards the people that like power farming instead of pushing, where you can invest like your upgrade into upping this percentage by like 2 or 3 or 1, or like for this it would be up 4%. So that every time, I think Black Desert Online has a similar system where you could slowly, more surely than people that do actually like pushing to greater rift levels, still be able to upgrade your gems to a high level. Alright, that's it. Back to the present Onkruid. Let's go for... well, we have full Ancient, so it's difficult to decide on what to roll for now. Let's go for a Primal Bow, shall we? Because that is a nice sink of our blood gems immediately. We don't need to worry about rolling all that much because it always costs quite a lot, those weapons. But yeah. What was I talking about just like 3 seconds ago? I was definitely talking about something. Help. My brain, please. It's the first video I record today. Was I still talking about League? Help me. Yeah, I was talking about like the nuance that I can show that, well, I know that he possibly just has a bad game and that I have my own mistakes, but sometimes it's just such an eyesore that you have to be a little bit mad, just a little bit mad. I don't get as mad at League anymore as I used to back when I was younger and still used to care a lot about my rank and stuff, but I still get aggravated a little bit sometimes, and I think that's also necessary in competitive online games, because if you don't get that thrill, that feeling of like battling it out for something and wanting to win, then why would you ever indulge in competitive gaming, right? And that's exactly what that's a fine statement, I think, but I can assure you that I also follow up on that in my own real life, in my own endeavors, in my own gaming habits. Yesterday, for example, me, Krogrin, and NF Destroyer my best friends in the whole wild world. Mwah! Love them to death. We were finally back in Discord together. It had been a while. Everybody is busy with work stuff and playing other games and shit, so it's very understandable that it's hard to find a time where we are all available. But disregarding that matter, we were finally back again together. Normally we are kind of a Rocket League squad. We are some based Rocket League enjoyers. Krunovi, Rizzo, Sis, better watch out. We are the real Rocket League pros. Not that Rizzo and Sis are such amazing pros, but they are very funny individuals. I'm getting sidetracked and going on tangents. My mind is still warming up to delivering coherent speech, because it's the first video I record today, as I mentioned already. But either way, normally we are those kinds of players who really love some Rocket League action. Yesterday, was not feeling it at all. Have not really been feeling Rocket League in general lately, not in the slightest to be honest, but I thought let's give it another chance now that the three of us are back together. Maybe that will make it fun. No, it's kind of a Rocket League burnout period, if you will. It's not something that butters my egg roll anymore for a while. Am I sad about that? Not really, no. It's a game I have invested so much time in already. I have had so much fun in already as well. Just always a fun experience whenever I used to play it. And that right now I'm in a bit of a rut and I don't enjoy it all that much anymore. That's a-okay. That's life, you know. You grow in and out of things sometimes. Especially in terms of games, in terms of things like movies, shows, books. There's just certain periods in life, I think, where you disregard that hobby or you put it to the side a little bit, and that is true for specific games as well. The example that immediately comes to mind for me personally, or the examples rather, plural, are Minecraft and RuneScape, both games that I have been playing on and off for the past 10 years, probably even longer, but they can still sometimes entice me. They can still bring me back through feelings of nostalgia and just like pure unadulterated and enjoyment, really. It's not even just nostalgia, it's not reliving past memories, it's still enjoying it in the here and now, in the present. It's not even just because it used to be fun. No, those games are still fun, but they are not games that I constantly play, you know. And it's the same with Diablo, that's for sure, and therefore I presume that it's probably just going to be the same with Rocket League as well. Just like a small period of, you know, no, I would rather play something differently. And I think that is fine. I think that there is nothing to worry about. It's just a general process. A process of ups and downs. A process of developing your taste. It's true even in something as food, for example, where sometimes you will really look forward to a certain type of dish, be able to eat it every single day for an entire week, for example. And then other times you will be like, nah, I'm not feeling it. I'm not really feeling pizza today. Just to give a rudimentary example. And that's fine. Life goes in cycles. Maybe you're all data just like me. Not gonna say the N-word out loud because that's not what I stand for in life. It's a great bar though. Great bar by J. Cole on his For Your Eyes Only, well, track, but I think it's also the name of the album, so it's the title track if I'm not mistaken. Could be mistaken though. I rolled rings out of habit because I have been rolling rings lately. But now that I have all my ancient rings, I should not be rolling them again. I should really stick to what I told you about rolling for weapons. Because if we get a primal weapon, that would be absolutely amazing. Because it would mean that we could replace our crafted primal with something else. Although, we need to get great rolls though. Because this Yang's recurve right here is absolutely mind-bogglingly good. Mind-bogglingly. It is my free day today. My free day of work. It's Wednesday. I have a team meeting later today. If the weather stays like this, I will go there in person to see my colleagues and to just enjoy the presence of the people I love hanging out with. I'm in a great team at that work environment, and it's also just more fun to be there in real life and easier to follow them when you're online. If the weather shifts again more to the weather that it was the last couple of days in Belgium and it starts raining cats and dogs, it starts raining steel pipes. It really starts just pouring down from the heavens. Noah is starting the construction of his ark already. Then, no thank you. I will probably just follow the meeting online. Maybe not with the utmost attention then. Not completely paying attention to everything that is being said. But still, of course, being pretty attentive. Because out of respect for my colleagues and for the clients we are discussing. But I know for certain already that I would get a bit more distracted. A bit more distracted while I am working from home. I am in a line of work where working from home is... How do I describe it? I mean, sometimes, for example, especially during the COVID pandemic, it is possible. A lot of therapy sessions were held online during COVID to at least still have something. And also, because that sounds like, oh, well, it was just to have something, it was not as good as other therapy, but for some people, it definitely worked equally as well. I did a lot of group therapy during COVID, and I know that that was not the best approach always, I think, because it makes the boundary, the threshold for feeling safe to talk to each other a bit higher even, because normally when you're in real life, you can kind of read each other's non-verbal signals to realize that you're doing a good job at explaining yourself, or that to even realize that you are allowed to speak at that moment, that everybody is prepared to listen. Whereas online, it's always just like with awkward interruptions, and the internet goes away for a while, and so all of a sudden your cat starts barking in the background, so you need to take her out of the oven and stuff. You know, there's so many distractions. Whereas in real life, it's way easier to focus in a group. But my point was that in that sense, working from home is kind of possible, I guess, in my line of work. And additionally, writing your reports, writing your diagnostic reviews as well, writing articles for some people, working on books, all that stuff is very much possible from home. But like the actual therapy stuff, which I am really into right now, which my line of work consists of at this moment. Oh, congrats, Laure. On her, let me show you, on her personal best of tier 90. The type of work I am into right now is not really suited for working from home. Except for team meetings. I just disenchanted some ancient gloves without even looking at whether they were better or not. That's a habit I need to get out of. But it's okay. One more rift, maybe two more, I don't know. All I'm looking at is the timer marker. As soon as we have been going for 15 minutes, I know that I have fulfilled my destiny, fulfilled my deed, did what I had to do. And that is press the record button, record the video, then put it up for rendering, upload it into the trash heap that my channel is becoming now that I am not editing my videos, and now that most people would see that as putting less effort into your videos, whereas for me, it's different. It's a different approach, and my reasoning is also different behind it. It's not necessarily like less effort. It's more time to focus on the other things I want to invest my time in, and to put more effort into some of the other aspects of this content creation journey we are embarking on together. Because now that I don't have to spend that much time editing my videos, I have way more time to record a bunch more videos. More time to record more videos is more time to ramble, more time to come up with topics to talk about, more time to test my English grammatic and vocabulary skills, which are probably abysmal. No, they are not. I am actually doing a-okay, and I am empowering myself with this optimistic statement about my own capacities, which is way better than just being a Debbie Downer all the time. And I can focus way more on those aspects, on providing interesting commentary, on focusing on introducing some quirks, some funny little remarks in the middle of my sentences, like for example the barking cat in the oven. I think that kind of sideswiped some people, took them by surprise a little bit, and that's exactly what I'm going for. And I have way more time to practice those skills now that I just have to press record and don't need to worry about all the editing process and stuff afterwards. No primals yet, sadly enough, although we do have the option unlocked now for 2 primals to drop at once. So as soon as 1 more primal drops, we are gonna be partying like there's no tomorrow. I can fit 1 more Greater Rift in here, and that's gonna be it for this 12th, 13th episode. Who knows? All I know is that I am enjoying myself. I wanted to play some Diablo today, that's for sure, especially because yesterday evening, me and my friends really had a really enjoyable Diablo experience. We tried Rocket League, we tried Apex, but that game, Apex Legends, first-person shooter battle royale, the Fortnite killer, but that game just didn't even load on my end, so we in the end decided not to even try and play it further, and then we switched on straight to Diablo, and it was such an amazing decision. I notified my buddy Krogrin, who you guys have seen on the channel and in this series already, of like this morning I went for a run. I was basking in my runner's high, enjoying the sun, which was absolutely amazing. I was listening to a very interesting podcast, Het Inzicht, a Dutch podcast where Dutch journalist or Belgian journalist Joël de Keulaar, writer for De Morgen, one of the more high quality newspapers here in Belgium, interviews, or well, does a podcast with, it's not necessarily just an interview, it's a dialogue with some great thinkers from different fields in life. For example, historians or philosophers or math teachers. Today it was a writer, an author. It was, oh, I need to remember her name right now, or I will be extremely dissatisfied with myself. I know that she wrote a book, Anne. She wrote a book, Anne, about a woman's journey through her anorexia, her struggle with anorexia. Fuck, Hemmerrechts. Christine Hemmerrechts, I think that was her name. Something like that, at least. I need to remember that for when it comes up in a quiz. That's why I'm hating myself so much when I forget those types of details. But I told my buddy Krogrin, to circle back to what this point originally was going to be about, like, I was still feeling grateful for the fun session we had last night in Diablo 3. Because, as I told you, it had been a while since we have played together with the three of us. Normally, it was like a daily endeavor we embarked upon. Whatever game was hot at the time, we would always be enjoying it together. Lately, life has gotten in the way a little bit. Destroyer also has a daughter. Krogrin has some health issues. And he's also just working always. I am also just working always. And I still have a girlfriend and other social relationships to invest in. But I told him, like, I still felt satisfied and grateful for our session last night. And that combination of, like, the runner's high, feeling healthy, feeling active, feeling on the move, together with the sun, together with watching my shadow move along with me on the running track, together with the interesting podcast, that was just like an amazing way to start the day, and I don't think anything can ruin this day anymore. And if you want to make this day even a little bit better, if you want to contribute to my day being absolutely unforgettable and amazing, smash that like button, hit the subscribe bell, lick your own penis with like the little tip of your tongue, and then I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.